Today we're going to talk about impaired driving, right? Hey, Mike, what's impaired driving to you?
After having about a 6-pack or so.
A 6-pack or so.
Yeah.
You think you're okay to get behind the wheel after a 6-pack?
No, that's what I'm saying, a 6-pack, and then I don't drive anymore. But
Really?
3 or 4, I'm good.
Okay, so at that point, you know that you're impaired, you have consumed alcohol, and you shouldn't get behind the wheel, all right?
That's correct.
All right, so most people nowadays, they think because they have 2 drinks that they're okay to drive, which in reality, they're not. Okay, after consuming any amount of alcohol into your body, you're automatically, your affects the brain and makes you impaired. All right. So with that being said, what I'm going to talk to you about is impaired driving. Okay. The definition of impaired driving is while under the influence after consuming a sufficient amount of alcohol with an alcohol concentration of 0.08 or more in the body. Okay. So who here has ever had, and known anybody who's been in an accident with a DWI, or has injured somebody or injured themselves, or was in a crash because of driving while impaired?
We all have.
We all have. We all know somebody, right, in some shape or form. Okay? So, NHTSA, they're the National Highway Safety and Administration, their statistics, every day almost 30 people in the U.S. die in drunk driving crashes. That's one person that dies every 48 minutes. Okay? So that's some real world numbers right there. But I'm going to tell you why I think that driving while impaired is just not the thing to do, all right? You get behind the wheel after having a few drinks with some friends, you get there, and now you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm okay to drive, which is not good, all right? The reason why is because alcohol affects your driving ability. What do you have to do when you're driving a vehicle? What are you doing?
Paying attention.
Paying attention. Relying on reflexes, driving at a high rate, you're driving at speed, you're driving something that's heavy, that could possibly injure yourself or another person. All right? It reduces your function of your brain. So obviously you're not going to be able to, see that car that comes out in front of you or that child that comes out in front of you or anything like that. Okay? It starts to reduce those motor skills in your brain. All right? It has impaired thinking. Okay? Slows your brain down. So everybody knows what a CNS depressant is. Alright, so CNS depressant is also known as alcohol. Okay? So what it is, it slows your motor function down, slows your brain down, affects the neurological system, right? Overall, it's going to affect your judgment, right? That's the biggest thing. Impairment affects your judgment, okay? Now with that being said, you decide to get behind the wheel after having a few drinks. Do you think there are going to be some risk factors that might come into play? What could some of them be? Crashing, right? That's probably the biggest one. You get behind the wheels of your car, that's a risk factor, crash. All right? You decide to drive, you take that risk, you get behind the wheel and you operate that motor vehicle. Okay? So, those are just some of the risk factors that you can have. Obviously, being injured, causing injury to someone else, those are just some things no takeaways. All right? Now we're going to talk about consequences. Obviously, fines is the biggest thing. Fines, you get pulled over by a police officer. Obviously, there are going to be some fines that come with that. Those are going to be some issues. Jail time. Could you go to jail for having a DWI?
Possibly.
You can, right? Especially if you lose somebody, you injure somebody, or something like that happens. Okay. And the biggest one is loss of your license. People always say when you get a DWI, you're going to lose your license. What do people need to do to get to work every day?
Right.
Commute, right? That's probably the biggest one. So what are people going to do for their license? They're going to fight for it, right?
Yeah.
How much do you think you're going to pay for a DWI?
10 grand.
Easily 10 grand. Probably more. It depends on where you're at and how many DWIs you've had. All right? And the biggest one is, taking the life of somebody else. That's really something you can't live with. And that's why I feel strongly about DWI, driving while impaired, and why you should not do it. All right? In some shape or form, somebody has known somebody that has lost their life. I've known somebody personally that has lost their life when they were 17 years old. They were killed by a drunk driver. All right? And that was not something that person could live with, because it was another teenager and they got to live with that for the rest of their life. So next time you decide to get behind the wheel after having a few drinks, just think about that, of what could possibly happen on the way home, or what you can do to somebody else impacting their life. All right? That's it.